Cheers. All right, we had a post up today. Actually, not talking about matcha for once, but we were kind of talking about matcha when we wrote it.
Speed bump in the plan.
Yeah. But we've gotten so many questions about what it was like to turn our hobby into a business. And it really started as just a hobby.
Yeah, it was like the cute thing to do.
Yeah. We've had lunches, smoothies, whatever it is with people who want to know. So we figured, like, we'll just hop on here and share.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like Melissa said, if you haven't seen our post, we're sharing 5 tips today to starting and essentially growing your business.
Mm-hmm. And so you can go read them. But we wanted to talk about them, like, be a little bit more human about it and tell you what it's like. So the first one is figuring out your skill set, passion, and ability to serve merch. And this is huge. We love the clarity, the awareness. A lot of people focus too much on their passion and not enough on their skill set or where they can serve. Sometimes people focus too much on where they can serve and not their skill set or their passion.
Yep.
And so it's really that spot, like that sweet spot.
Right. And we say it, and like I'm, thinking back to our post, and like it's really hard. It's really hard to identify that. So I guess our biggest piece of advice in terms of like figuring it out is try a bunch of things. I mean, we both, before we started Move, we were talking to millions of people. It might be a little dramatic there, but it felt like a million people.
Probably not.
Felt like a million people. And just really like figuring out what your strong suits are and how that can kind of shape and serve a clientele.
Yeah. Next one was testing the waters. So we like recruited friends, family, I don't know, people off the street. We were like, you want to learn about juicing?
Literally.
And tested. And what's most productive from that is the constructive criticism, like the shit you got to change.
Yeah. It definitely showed.
Yeah.
Like we threw together a course in 3 weeks, had a test group of almost 30 people. It was like 22 or 24. And we just kind of, we'll hit on this next, but kind of like threw a ton of stuff together. And it was kind of this messy blob of content and
the delivery
back end and technology.
Yeah.
And like we had just started an Instagram, and the point being is like that feedback was crucial for us to grow, and we still get it all the time. We're by no means like ever neglecting feedback because it's so important to growing.
Yeah. The next one, investing in yourself.
Cue peeing pants.
No, literally. Like, we split our investment, our first one. I mean, I think you start by investing time and energy. We sacrificed our summer. That was an investment.
I was in a bathing suit one day, and I didn't even have the bottoms on. I was still in shorts.
I don't even think I did that. And then I paid for it when my skin saw the sun for the very first time in like 2 years in Florida. But I digress. So, investing in yourself. It is scary, and everyone's like, oh, I'm just going to wait till, the time is right. We never have extra time, money, energy. Like, we just don't, because as humans and as people always looking to grow, we fill it and we spend and we do things. And and so I think it just comes down to, like, do you want it that badly?
Right.
And do you believe in yourself that much?
And does it really align with what you want? Because a lot of the times we say we want something and we're like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And the reason you don't do it is because it doesn't actually align. And there's a disconnect there. So, the first time we invested together as Move, it was like, we talk about this a lot. It's, you're investing in yourself, but I was also investing in Melissa, and being like, here is my time, my money, my energy, my trust, my honesty, like, blah, 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 all of it. Here you go. So.
Yeah. And we didn't invest our business funds. We did our personal funds. And that was scary. And also the game changer, wouldn't you say?
Oh my God.
Like
tripled our business, quadrupled our business.
10 times it.
And not even like financially. We're talking growth like within ourselves, our delivery, the back end, our technology, our website, accountability, like across the board.
Yeah. And, I think nobody would disagree whether you're investing in something, you know, whether it's personally, professionally, when you have that accountability and that learning, like, you get so much more out of it.
Totally.
Want to do the next one?
Yeah. This is one of our favorites, is take messy action. So, I mean, we're going back to, was it step 2 with testing the waters? Like, that's what we were doing. We probably had our game plan for the next day, and that's it. Like, we had this overarching goal, absolutely. Like, we had a plan, we had a vision.
We had the whole outline.
Yes. But it was like how we were delivering it, how we were going to go about it. Like, we were just like, let's do it.
I remember like driving to the yoga studio like at like 4 a.m. to get there early enough to do a recording and make something on turmeric and post it before teaching that class.
We were posting and creating content every single morning, every single afternoon, every single night for either that day or the next day. Like, we do that all the time now, but it's like for weeks out, you know. It was really, really messy, but it was action and it was progress. So
yeah. And again, you learn, and we don't believe like there's no such thing as failure. It's just feedback. It really, really, really is. And if you are going to go for it and you're going to pursue, like, you gotta let go of this need for perfection, and you've got to let go of like that failure, because it's all feedback and it's going to get you to where you're supposed to be.
Yep.
Promise.
Absolutely. You want to hit the next one?
Sure.
I like this one too.
Believe in your value. This is a really hard one, I think, for especially if you're in the service field and you want to help people, you know, feel better or do their best. And it can be really challenging because you don't want to charge people, or you feel bad. Like, I remember at first being like, I'm sorry, you know, like, it was like, no, this is an energy exchange. It truly is an energy exchange. Everything is an energy exchange, right? Food, drink, time, money, whatever it is. Like, money is one source of energy. Time, knowledge, experience, growth, that's a heck of a lot of energy too. So you got to have that energy exchange. And there are 2 things that like I want to touch on it, and I know like we could probably do an entire giant thing on it, but one thing that really helped me was remembering, like, you know, just because if we have friends who are construction workers, like, they're not going to come and build our houses for us.
Yeah.
Right?
If you have a doctor, he's not going to do brain surgery for free. Like,
correct. And we're all sharing our skill sets, our passions, right? And we're serving. And we all are worthy of receiving an energy exchange. Like, it's not one way. If it's one way, we become burned out. We become resentful. We don't, you know, feel valued. And you're not going to show up for the people you're serving if you don't feel valued.
Yeah, I think that's a big one. And again, this one takes time. And you really need to believe in your service in order to serve your clients even better, right? So if you don't believe in you, what makes you think your clients will believe in you as well? So that one was definitely, like, for us, one, we believed in our services. It was more the financial exchange where we were like, oh, like, because it really was turning a hobby and like what we thought could be really fun and like a little side gig, and like then we were like, holy shit, it's a business. This is a business. This is a business. So
I remember one of our business coaches asked us, are you going to run this as a hobby or business? And we were like, business. He's like, well, then stop treating it like a hobby. And we were like, oh. All right.
Noted.
And one of the other things we've learned, and we've done so much, you know, professional development, which is huge. We can't, you know, reiterate that enough, is, and we've seen this, if people aren't invested, like, they're not invested, right? If people don't invest, they're not invested. Think about it. If you have, like, you know, a gym membership that's $20 a month and you have one that's $400 or $500 a month, like, you are likely going to hit snooze a lot more when it's $20 a month. Like, for people to create change, they have to bring energy to that change. And sometimes it's financial energy. Sometimes it's time. They're, again, all different sources. But I think it's really important to know, like, you're actually not doing a favor by enabling people. And that was something that was really helpful for me in realizing, like, if I really want to support this person's growth, like, I have to encourage them to believe that they're worthy enough of investing in themselves and then deliver the transformation that, you know, that can change their lives.
Yeah.